good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Dynamics 365 transition webcast. Our goal today is to basically present the new platform announced by Microsoft on November 1st of this year, to inform you on the new licensing model, as well as to discuss the transition plans and options, and of course, to answer as many questions as we can on the subject. So I think we'll have a lot of information for a short period of time, and I'll invite you all to a one-on-one discussion at a certain time, but I will encourage questions throughout this webcast. So the agenda for today, quick introduction. What is Dynamics 365, which is a question that you may be asking yourself right now. A new licensing model, so we'll tackle the licensing model head-on and how to plan your transition. And like Stefan mentioned, we will definitely have a Q&A session at the end. So my name is Patrick Gouin. I'm responsible for the Dynamics 365 business development at Gestisoft, more specifically around the core CRM functionalities. And I'm also part of the P-Seller program with Microsoft. So I hope that I can bring you value today with this webcast. So let's start by talking about what Microsoft Dynamics 365 is and what it means for your business today. Oh, sorry, my marketing manager just warned me that I had paused the slides. Sorry. So basically, what is Dynamics 365? The first change that Microsoft brought with this new platform is that they've basically eliminated the actual barrier that resided between CRM and ERP by basically combining all of these features within one platform, which is now called Dynamics 365. So we're going from a solution approach where you would subscribe to a solution that includes a various bunch of functionalities to an application platform, which is very different. But the applications do work seamlessly throughout the platform. So the platform will be comprised of an application for sales, for customer service, for financial operations, marketing, field service, and professional service automation. And this approach basically allows customers to start with the application that they actually need and add multiple applications as they go through and evolve as a business. And that's what we're going to be looking at as well today. In terms of how the platform changed, basically when we look at Microsoft as a platform, at the very core you'll find Microsoft Dynamics 365 with the 6 different or 7 different apps that are available for businesses. The platform resides on an application platform. Basically, it leverages the foundation of Azure, which helps you manage identity, authentication, integration, storage, and computing in one place. But it also resides on an application platform. So basically, Microsoft introduced a few new things with the actual platform. The first one is a common data model. Common data model combined with a tool like Microsoft Flow allows customers to basically initiate workflows in between different applications. And these are cross-application workflows that you can set up. So for example, an account goes on hold for credit purposes in the finance application. We can actually notify the sales rep through the CRM sales app of that same change within an account. So it opens up a world of possibilities that way. Obviously, they also introduced Power Apps, which is a new feature that will allow customers to build applications, and these applications will be able to pull and push data across all the different, I guess, applications or modules. We don't have clear examples of what that means, except that it's going to be very intuitive, and it's supposed to help businesses, go an extra step ahead of the competition and create, for example, mobile apps and stuff like that around Power Apps. And obviously, when you look at this as a foundation, it is available on the cloud. So Azure is a cloud platform. And when you're combining Dynamics 365, this foundation, and then, for example, Office 365, then you'll start leveraging native integrations with the tools that we all know and use, such as Outlook, Excel, SharePoint for document management, OneDrive for storage, and etc. You can also combine apps like Power BI that enable you to analyze your data across all the different platforms, compare your company and benchmark against what's being done within your industry, through data that may be available within the web and things of that nature. And you can also add Cortana Intelligence, which will be able to make business recommendations based on the data you provided. So, for example, you're managing an opportunity and no activities have been planned for the past 3 months. It hasn't moved in a stage. You may get a warning from Cortana saying, hey, this opportunity should be left outside of the current quarter. Because we're not even close to closing this opportunity, for example. So things like that, we're coming closer to an AI within our business apps. And then finally, there's Azure IoT, which is Internet of Things. We've seen scenarios where if you sell an equipment, for example, and the equipment is connected to IoT, based on the performance of your equipment, you can actually start a case or a service call within CRM to send a technician to do preventive maintenance. So again, those are all tools to help you be more proactive with your customers. And if you don't find what you need within these basic apps that are provided by Microsoft, Microsoft has released Microsoft AppSource, which is where you'll find most of the common ISV solutions, which are third-party add-ons to the existing solutions provided by Microsoft. So if there's a very specific need for a feature that's not available, you'll most likely find it on the AppSource. So that's how, in a nutshell, the platform is evolving and being or becoming more than just CRM and ERP. We're looking at Microsoft as a application-based platform on the cloud. In terms of the licensing model, with the change of Dynamics 365 coming, and this is going to be the core of our discussion today, is how is this impacting your licensing today? How do you transition? And we'll take a look at that. So before November 1st, like I was mentioning, the traditional Dynamics CRM Online scenario was that you would get sales, customer service, and marketing features, and then you would decide whether your user needed a professional license, a basic license, or an essential license. And then you could add options like field service, project service automation, portals, knowledge base, and then all those very nice features. We had Project Madeira, which is Nav Online, that was available, and then your typical ERP solutions that are still available today, which were GP, Nav, SL, AX. And now we're transitioning to an application-based model. So when you subscribe to Dynamics 365, you can subscribe to sales and or customer service or marketing or field service or project automation, and you can also bundle most of these applications within a business or an enterprise plan. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later, but basically this allows you to start with what you need and add as you go. And if you're a customer that's not currently using all the features of CRM, then you can basically use exactly what you need for your users. And obviously Madeira has been included and becomes Dynamics 365 for financials. In terms of AX, the same goes, but GP, Nav, and SL remain existing platforms, so they're not part of the offer. There will be 2 editions of Dynamics 365, one that's available today, which is your current CRM, which is Enterprise Edition. So it's basically composed of your common Dynamics CRM Online that you know and use, and also AX7 for finance and operations. It is available online or on-premise and requires, for the operations side of things, a minimum of 20 seats, so for AX. In the spring, Microsoft will be releasing the business edition of Dynamics 365, and the way we need to look at this is business edition is a refocused edition for small and medium businesses, so SMB. To say things transparently, it's a scaled-down version of NAV, what we know as CRM today, so sales, marketing, and customer service. It is a solution that is available online only, and that can receive up to 300 seats maximum. So this will help compete with the Salesforce starting offer, for example. And basically, like I said, it is a scaled-down version of the features. The only thing is that we don't have a clear visibility on what that means today. We're hoping to find out more within the next few weeks. So when you transition, at first we'll recommend that you transition to Enterprise Edition, and then we'll see if we can scale you down if it's required to the Business Edition or not. So once we choose the edition that we need, there's going to be 2 licenses. So Pro, Basic, and Essential, they're gone. Now we have light users and full users. The light users are going to be called team members. So basically a team member is someone that needs to navigate across various modules, so various apps, for example, through sales, finance, and perhaps customer service. They have very light rights in terms of writing, so you'll be able to, for example, update an account or a contact. You'll be able to visualize the information across all the apps. And if you're using an ISV, for example, a project management ISV where people need to enter timesheets, then they will use a team member. Or if Gestisoft has developed a custom module within CRM, the people accessing that specific module can use a team member. So that's for light users. Full users will have 2 choices. So either we choose an app or we choose a plan. So I'll have a few scenarios later today that showcase different types of scenarios where we can transition. So, but basically, if I'm doing one thing in the system or I need access to one specific app like sales, for example, then my full user will be an application-specific user for sales. And if my sales rep also manages cases, then it becomes very relevant to transition to a plan, which will give you full extensibility over all the different applications. In terms of pricing, I guess the first thing I want to say is Microsoft will have transition pricing for all of you. So do not worry, these are not the prices that you will be paying once you go through the transition, but these are standard prices. So if this is for the Enterprise Edition, so if we take back the concept of applications, if today I manage sales, for example, I can buy a sales user at 115. If I use in my day-to-day sales and customer service, then obviously I'm better to move up to a plan. So we have all the individual applications that are priced at 115, except Power Apps and Operations, which is AX. We have Plan 1, which includes all the core CRM features that you know for 140. And then we have the Plan 2, which also includes AX for $255 a month a user. And the team members will go for roughly $12. Obviously, the more licenses you have, Microsoft has a scale in terms of price breaks. We'll be able to share that with you at some point in time as well. So the more you have users, the better the price will get. For the Business Edition, which is yet to be released, finance is available today. Basically, they're going to be $49 per app, or the bundle plan will be $61 and include Power Apps, Finance, Sales, Marketing, and Customer Service. And then the team members for Business Edition will be $6 per month per user. So the same principle applies as Enterprise, but keep in mind that this is a very scaled down version, and we still don't have any visibility on how much has been scaled or cut off the standard CRM solution. But it's the same goes, it becomes very interesting to bundle and save. So we need to look at this as a as a almost a telecommunication offer where I can start with internet today, and if I need TV later, I can add it, and by combining two services, I get a better price. And the more I consume, my price goes down. So it's a sort of the same approach on that end. So how do you plan your transition? And obviously, for today's purpose, we won't be able to address every possible scenario because there's so many, but we'll address a few, and then we can have one-on-one discussions between yourselves and your Gestisoft representative to figure out what's your best way to transition. So in terms of licensing, so we're starting with current CRM licenses, which are professional, basic, and essential. The professional license, depending on its usage, can either transition to a sales application or a customer service application or a plan that will include sales, customer service, and also field service and project service automation, as well as Power Apps. The basic license, depending on what people do with the basic license, because sometimes basic licenses are used for customer service purposes, so basic can transition to customer service. If you're managing cases, you'll definitely need a customer service app license or a plan 1. If you're using the basic license for leads in CRM, for example, you will definitely require a sales application or a plan 1. So basic can transition either to full applications or plans, but they can also transition to team members. And the essential license automatically moves to a team member. So in terms of scenarios, if we look at a first scenario, I have an actual situation where I have 10 sales managers who use the sales cycle features and opportunity management features in CRM. I have 5 managers who currently look at information and dashboards, but don't necessarily use the features of CRM, and we don't expect as a company to move to customer service, for example, within CRM. So the recommendation would be to go with Dynamics 365 for sales application, and the 10 pro users would basically convert to full users within the sales application. The 5 basic users could become team members as they're only looking at information and they're not actually managing opportunities and cases and so forth. In our second scenario, we have 10 sales managers. We have 8 customer service agents that use both cases and opportunities. We have 2 contact management agents that modify accounts and contacts only, and we don't expect to use other CRM modules. So this one's a mix of user, which is a little bit tricky. The sales managers would transition to the Dynamics 365 sales application. So the 10 pros would go to 10 full sales app users. The 8 customer service agents would transition to a full plan because they're using both sales and customer service features. So these ones would transition to a plan 1, for example. And then our 2 contact management agents could transition to team members as they basically only modify accounts and contacts, and they may need to look at some information in CRM. So in that case, the recommendation would definitely be both Dynamics 365 Sales App, a plan 1, and then we would use full users for both sales and customer service agents, and then team members for the contact management team. Last example, if I'm using an ISV or an XRM solution, so a module that Gestisoft has built. So a quick example, I have 25 sales manager who manages the opportunity and sales cycle. We have 20 project managers that use an ISV for managing projects, and we have 200 employees that enter timesheets. We don't necessarily expect to use customer service or other features within CRM. So we would transition to the Dynamics 365 sales app. The 25 would become full sales app users. The 20 basic and 200 essential users could become team members because we're using a module within the Dynamics 365 offer, we're using an ISV module that is non-existent in Microsoft's offer. So that's what we could transition to. So basically these scenarios are just scenarios that we present, but it gives you a quick idea of how easy or complex this can get depending on the usage. I think my recommendation would be to not necessarily look at what you do as a business within CRM, but look at what each and individual users do within CRM to determine if they really need an app, a plan, a team member, and then we'll have discussions around that with you. In terms of benefits, if we compare the old CRM professional user to a Plan 1, for example, which is going to come up as a little bit more money, we do have a lot more value. In the Dynamics CRM Online Professional offer, we needed 5 users minimum to use the application. The application included sales, customer service, and very, very light marketing, mobile, offline, some social engagement features. And then in terms of added value, they offered 5 gigs of storage and then an additional 2.5 gigs per, I guess, bundle of 20 users. So in terms of database, when you're starting to download attachments, it becomes very big, very quick. So you'll often need to add storage as you go, and it became very expensive for customers. And the non-production instance was only included with a minimum of 25 users. Otherwise, it was $140 per month to get a non-production instance. Today, with a Plan 1, you get everything that was included in the professional, and then we add to that field service, project service, functionalities, a better and stronger social engagement functionality, voice of the customer, which is a function that allows you to survey your clients, which is very interesting. Gamification for adoption, Project Online is available as well within the package, light usage of AX, and then full Power Apps including Microsoft Flow. We bump up the storage to 10 gigs for starters, and then we add 5 gigs per 20 users. So you get pretty much double the storage at every step of the way. The non-production instance is included, so you're saving $140 a month if you need an environment for testing and development and stuff like that. And then in terms of what we added more to this is the actual ADX portal for your clients, which was worth $500 per month. So you can now open CRM and open it to your customers in some way, shape, or form. And we also include the on-premise server license. So if ever you do want to go from Microsoft's cloud to an internal server, there's an $11,000 license that is usually required you purchase for on-premise use, but it's now included within the package. So again, you get more features for a higher price, but then Microsoft is going to have promotions for you. And that's pretty much where I would leave this conversation for now. So basically a few things you need to take away with you as we go through this. The change only takes effect on your renewal date. There is a grace period to renew. So let's say your renewal is within the next few weeks. You have until February to make the switch of next year. Microsoft will offer a transition pricing promotion to all existing CRM Online customers, and it is a 20% rebate on apps and plans. So instead of the $115, you'll have 20% rebate. The transition price for the basic is going to actually be $56 per user per month. That's a good opportunity if some of the basic users need to do more sales or customer service, as you can actually transition them to a Plan 1 for that price, which is very inexpensive. And then obviously your transition pricing will be valid for 3 years. So it actually will take 3 years until you start paying the full price that you've seen on the slide before. And these are the things that you need to know. The platform itself pretty much stays the same besides all of the added features that we're going to see this fall with the update. But anything else is pretty much the same with the platform. It's just that they've added more value to it. So that pretty much completes my first session on this. Obviously, I think it's a case-by-case scenario. Like I've said, we really need to sit down with each and every one of our customers to have that conversation, to do that mapping of who does what within CRM, to be able to propose a transition plan that makes sense. So I would encourage you to call us. Otherwise, we will be calling you for sure.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this this webcast today. So have a nice day. Thanks again. Thanks, Patrick.